Good evening all, this is Tim with another film for you. Lately I've been mostly doing the computer aided design side, CAD side for various bits and pieces, but I did manage to get my hands greasy today. There's a very talented guy in Norfolk, MG, from the engineering forums, who's very kindly done some excellent lathe work. He created this collar here, you can see at the end of my pencil, which is barely 5mm in length and 8 in diameter, and contains 2 threads, including a very small thread for a grub screw. So that's now fitted. So what you've got here is the wiring coming in. I'll just move this slightly. The wiring coming into the lower section of the RAM. This will be concealed within a hydraulic, what apparently is a hydraulic lead, but it's hollow. Then here's the Faulhaber motor, that's a black bit, and the reduction gearbox, 4:1 gearbox, that's the silver bit, and that sits virtually flush in this fitting here. Will be held in place with a very light pressure from 3 grub screws that go through this casing and through the shroud. The bit that MG's just made, which has been so useful, is this little collar here, and the function of this is to join the output shaft of the gearbox to the lead screw, which is this M2 threaded stainless steel rod. Obviously the motor doesn't move in its housing, but as it spins this collar and the threaded portion, and the nut, which can't rotate, therefore travels up and down on the thread depending on the direction of travel of the motor. On the end of the threaded rod, I don't know if you can see that, but there's an absolutely tiny bit of brass just sweated onto the end of it, and the function of that is to act as a plain bearing inside the copper shroud on the end of the extending portion of the RAM. So that's just barely a fit inside that copper tube, and therefore that keeps the M2 rod from thrashing around. It helps centre it. You've got 2 bits of plastic, 3D printed plastic. This is a bit that sticks out the top of the RAM, and then these 2 bits have been made in 2 parts so that I could drill them easily to get the centres correct for putting the brass tube in. And then finally there's an very thin aluminium shroud that goes over that, which is what you'll see when the RAM extends. Finally there's this alloy capping piece. When I painted it I didn't prime it, so that just naturally knocking about the workshop it's quite a few bumps, and that with a bit of weathering will look the part. Finally you've got this alloy shroud, as I said earlier, and the top cap, which if I turn you can see how that works there. Now I have actually powered this up, and it does move, and it does move at a sensible rate for a hydraulically moved turret. Whether or not there's enough torque in it at the nominal 4.5 volts remains to be seen. I may need a second one, or I'll take advice from the motor manufacturer and bump the voltage up to 6, possibly 9 volts. And that will speed things up and give it more oomph, which hopefully will move the turret okay. It's not meant for continuous use, just occasional movement up and down, so it shouldn't really matter if we apply a higher voltage than it would be comfortable with in continuous operation. So my thanks to MG for some absolutely beautiful lathe work. It's been very exciting to see something born out of my head arrive as a physical piece. and great fun to put together. When it does go together, at the moment it's just jury assembled, jury rigged. Then I'll be using a Loctite 628 between the brass and steel parts, on the grub screw on the collar, and on the empty thread into the collar. Both of those will be Loctited with 628, meaning that it should never ever come off under any circumstances. That's about it. So quite a pleasing day. Otherwise I'm just bogged down in what am I doing at the moment? I'm producing the artwork for chemical etched brass, which will be used to stiffen up the structure that holds the cupola. That's a glass bit, or perspex bit around the turret. So it's a substructure that holds all that up, and it's mostly 3D printed, but I'm stiffening it with thin brass sheet in places, so that's hence all this performance. Not the easiest thing to do, I might add. I'm reasonably competent with CAD programs now, or Autodesk in particular, but I am struggling with producing this artwork. And of course the ongoing business of preparing drawings for 3D printed parts. So I've just whacked off a fairly large order, so I shall have some things to paint and ferret away for future assembly, which will be fun, because sitting at the computer and doing all the CAD side of things does pull somewhat after a while. It's nice to get your hands dirty and put things together. Anyway, there you go, that's where we're at. These are the drawings that I sent MG, and he did very well interpreting them, because I haven't done this sort of stuff for 30 odd years, so it was a bit of a struggle to get it into a form where he could correctly interpret the drawings, but he did very well, so thank you MG, it's been brilliant. And that's it for now.